Hey kiddos, this is the book I'm going to read today. So remember, this is the front of the book, this is the back of the book, and this is the spine of the book. This is not the spine of the book. These are the pages. The spine is what holds all the pages together. Okay, and in this book, you can tell that it's stapled. So I know for sure that this is the spine. Now this one is a little bit weird, but you know what the title is because the title has the big letters. This is why I say it's a little bit weird, because the author's name is actually in front of the title. It's kind of different. And then right here, it says paintings by. So that must be the illustrator. Remember, an author writes the words, an illustrator makes the pictures. For this one, it sounds like the illustrator painted the pictures. So let's read. This story is called How Many Stars in the Sky? This mark right here is called a question mark because that's a question sentence. It's by Lenny Hort. Paintings by James E. Ransom. This is the title page because it has the title again. And then this is the dedication. It has who the story was written for. How many stars in the sky? Mama was away that night and I couldn't sleep. Mama knows all about the sun and stars, but she was away and I didn't want to wake Daddy. So I stared out the window asking myself, how many stars in the sky? I could count so many just from my room. I leaned out the window and I could count even more. That was just gazing over the backyard. How many stars in the sky? I went outside with a pad and pencil. I started to count. I filled up one whole page of the pad, but there were lots of stars hidden behind the trees. The house blocked out even more. The street lamp was so bright I couldn't see stars anywhere near it. How many stars in the sky? I climbed up high into my tree house. I started at the Big Dipper and counted in a great circle all around the sky. I filled up page after page of the pad. But when I got back to the Dipper, it wasn't where I remembered it. I must have been out so long that the stars had moved. Old ones had set and new ones had risen. How many stars in the sky? I climbed down from the tree house, and there was Daddy. I couldn't sleep, I said. I can't sleep either, he said. Your mama won't be back till tomorrow. I told him how I wanted to count all the stars in the sky. If your mama was here, Daddy said, I bet she'd know. Maybe you and I can find some place where it'll be easier to count them. My dog hopped in the truck with us and we drove into town. The streets were quiet, but lots of streetlights were burning. We could see the bright city skyline in the distance. It's quiet and there are not a lot of people because it's the middle of the night. Everybody's sleeping, I bet. Daddy and I counted 25 or 26 stars. He said he thought one of them was the planet Jupiter. This isn't a good place to see the stars, I said. It's not a bad place to count them, though, he said, but it's still too hard. Let's go where it'll be really easy. Where do you think it would be easier? Maybe a place without buildings so you can see far away, right? or maybe even a place that is darker. Let's see. We drove into the city. The big clock by the tunnel said 2:45, but neither one of us felt like sleeping. We parked by Mama's office. There was a department store with brightly lit displays in every window. There were street lamps on every corner. There were dazzling neon signs. Headlights flashed from a steady stream of cars. Powerful searchlights beamed from the roofs of the skyscrapers. I don't think this is a good place to count the stars, do you? And I couldn't see any stars at all. I count exactly one, said Daddy. No, wait, he said. It's an airplane. Maybe the stars just don't want to be counted, I said. So when I saw this the first time, I thought it was the sun coming up. But the sun does not come up at 2:45 in the morning. So I think that it might just be the city and how bright it is. We drove back through the tunnel. I was tired and I thought we were going home, but instead, Daddy drove us deep into the country. There weren't any cars. There weren't any streetlights. There weren't any houses. Even the moon had set, and I knew we could never count all the stars. Why not? Let's see if he says. No matter where I looked, new ones appeared every time I blinked my eyes. Daddy pointed up above and showed me the Milky Way. The stars were so thick, I couldn't tell one from another. So that's why he can't count them all, because the stars look like they're moving, but actually it's us on Earth that are moving. And so we see different stars at different times. And so when you're counting, they're shifting. I say they're moving, but we both know they're not really moving. We're moving. And sometimes they're so close together that you can't tell the stars apart. We were much too tired to drive anymore, so we slept underneath the stars that night. Ooh, like a little camp out. It was daylight when we woke. Daddy, I said, all those stars are always out there, even when we can't see them, right? Of course they are, he said. Can we try to count them again sometime? I asked. Any night you feel like it, he said. You and me and Mama can all go out together. I could hardly wait to see Mama and tell her about it. In a little while, we'd all be back home. But now I was glad just to be standing there with Daddy, basking in the warmth of the one star we could see. You know what star that is, right? And that was the sun. Because remember, the sun is a star. It's the only star that we really see during daytime. Because the sun, which is our star, is so close to us, it's the brightest. Okay? Even though it's the closest one, it's still super far away. So all the stars you see in the sky are suns too. Just not our sun. Our sun is special. And that's the end. Did you like it? I hope so. Thanks for reading with me. And I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Bye.